My beloved child, listen closely. This message did not find you by accident. Time itself paused to bring you here. Heaven is leaning in, and the voice of the Lord is reaching you right now, because what you are about to hear carries a once-in-a-lifetime promise. Congratulations. God says your youth is being restored, and this restoration is not symbolic. It is spiritual, emotional, and even visible. The clock of weariness is being reversed. The weight you carried for years is lifting. And if you open this within these moments, it is because divine timing has already chosen you. There are people who age because of years, and there are people who age because of burdens. You, my child, carried battles that were never meant to stay this long. Sleepless nights, silent tears, responsibilities that drain your spirit. These things marked your soul more than time ever could. But hear this clearly. God is saying, I am not only healing you, I am renewing you. The weariness in your eyes is about to be replaced with light. The heaviness in your body is about to be replaced with strength. You will feel younger because your spirit is being refreshed at the root. Archangel Michael stands near you in this season, not as a distant warrior, but as a guardian assigned to your renewal. He has been fighting battles you never saw, pushing back cycles of exhaustion, delay, and discouragement. There were moments when you felt older than your age, tired beyond reason, and drained without explanation. That was not weakness, it was warfare. And now, the war is shifting. Michael's sword is not raised against you. It is raised for you, cutting away what drained your vitality. God says, I am restoring what stress stole. Years of pressure compressed your joy. Responsibility replaced laughter. Survival replaced living. But the Lord is breathing youth back into your bones. Not the shallow kind that fades, but the deep renewal that flows from peace. Your face will reflect it. Your energy will surprise people. Some will ask, what changed? And you will know, it was not a product, not a routine, not luck. It was divine restoration. Pay attention. This is important. The enemy tried to convince you that your best days were behind you. He whispered that aging was inevitable, that joy was seasonal, that strength only declines. But God says, I am not bound by seasons. He is the one who renews strength like the eagle. He is the one who restores years the locust consumed. This message is confirmation that you are entering a phase where life flows back into you. Archangel Michael is reminding you of something powerful. Youth is not only about appearance, it is about authority. When your spirit is renewed, your voice becomes stronger. Your presence becomes lighter. Your confidence returns without arrogance. People will feel safe around you again. Children will be drawn to your joy. Opportunities will recognize your energy. This is not vanity. This is alignment. God says there is a reason you are hearing this now. You are stepping out of a long season of inner aging. There were years where hope felt delayed, dreams felt postponed, and laughter felt extensive. But heaven declares this: you will not carry yesterday's weight into tomorrow. Restoration is not gradual in this moment. It is accelerated. What you thought would take years, God is compressing into a short window. Do not dismiss this as imagination. Do not rationalize it away. When God restores youth, He does it quietly at first. Peace returns, sleep deepens, stress loosens its grip. Then suddenly, you notice your reflection feels different. Your posture changes. Your smile comes easier. This is the signature of divine renewal. Archangel Michael is sealing this word with protection. The same stress that tried to return will be blocked. The same voices that drained you will lose access. God is teaching you how to guard your energy without guilt. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to smile. You are allowed to feel young again, because this joy is from the Lord, and it is your strength. Listen carefully. Not everyone will understand this shift. Some people are comfortable with the old version of you, the tired one, the overgiving one, the always available one. But God says, I am restoring you for my glory, not their comfort. You will look younger because your soul is lighter. You will feel younger because fear is loosening its grip. You will live younger because purpose is being reignited. This is only the beginning. What God is unfolding goes far deeper than appearance. It touches destiny, calling, and longevity. Heaven is not done with you yet. There is still laughter to release, love to experience, and assignments that require your renewed strength. Hold this in your spirit. Let it settle. Because what comes next will explain how this restoration unfolds and why it had to happen now. My chosen one, pause for a moment and let this truth sink deep into your spirit. What is happening to you right now is not coincidence, and it is not emotional excitement. This is a divine process unfolding layer by layer. God does not restore youth the way the world understands it. He does not start with the mirror. He starts with the inner chambers of your soul, where time cannot reach but stress has lived for too long. And this is where the reversal has already begun. There were seasons when you felt like life was moving too fast for you to keep up. Responsibilities stacked up, expectations grew heavier, and slowly, without realizing it, your joy became something you postponed. You told yourself, I'll rest later, I'll smile later, I'll live later. But later kept moving. God saw that. And He says now, enough. The delay is ending. The pressure valve is being released. You are not late. You are right on time for restoration. Archangel Michael has been assigned to stand at the gate of your strength. His presence in this message is not symbolic. He is ensuring that what God restores cannot be stolen again. Because the truth is, some of what aged you was not physical, it was spiritual warfare. You fought silent battles. You carried emotional loads without help. You stayed strong for others while breaking quietly inside. The kind of strength costs something. But God says, I am paying you back with renewal. Hear this carefully. Youth is being restored because hope is being restored. The moment hope returns, the body responds. Your breathing changes. Your sleep deepens. Your thoughts soften. Science may not call it a miracle, but heaven does. The joy of the Lord begins to flow like oil again, and oil reduces friction. It makes movement easy. It removes strain. That is why you will feel lighter. That is why your energy will return without effort. Some of you have been asking God quietly, why do I feel older than I should? And God answers today, because you carried weight that was not yours. You carried other people's pain. You carried family pressure. You carried expectations without appreciation. But God is removing that weight now. The moment it lifts, your posture changes. Your face relaxes. Your spirit breathes again. That is restoration in motion. Archangel Michael is also cutting unhealthy soul ties that drain your vitality. There were conversations that exhausted you, environments that pulled from you, relationships that fed on your strength without pouring back. God is not doing this to isolate you. He is doing it to preserve you. Youth cannot flourish where energy is constantly leaking. Protection is part of your renewal. Now listen closely, because this is important. God is not restoring your youth so you can chase the past. He is restoring it so you can step into the future with strength. There are assignments ahead that require clarity, confidence, and stamina. There are people you will inspire simply by your presence. When they see you, they will not see tiredness, they will see peace. They will not see age, they will see life. If this message is already stirring something inside you, take a moment right now and show your agreement. Like this video as a sign that you receive what God is releasing. Share it with someone who has been feeling worn down and forgotten, because this word is not only for you. Leave a comment declaring that restoration is happening, because your words activate your faith. And if this channel has been feeding your spirit, make sure you are subscribed and part of this growing family. This is how the message continues to reach the ones who need it most. God says, I am also teaching you how to maintain what I restore. Youth stays where gratitude lives. Strength remains where peace is protected. You will notice yourself saying no without guilt. You will stop over-explaining. You will choose rest without apology. These are not small changes. They are signs of maturity paired with youth. This is balance, and heaven delights in it. Archangel Michael wants you to know that the enemy will try to whisper doubt. You will say nothing has changed. But restoration often begins quietly before it becomes visible. Seeds grow underground first. Do not measure this moment by what you see today. Measure it by what you sense shifting within. Your excitement for life will return. Your curiosity will waken. Your laughter will feel natural again. There is also healing happening in your memories. Some of you aged emotionally because of unresolved moments, things you never said, losses you never processed, disappointments you buried. God is gently touching those places now, not to reopen wounds, but to close chapters. Closure brings youth. Peace restores energy. Forgiveness lightens the soul. Before this message continues deeper, stay with me. What is coming next will explain why this restoration is happening so suddenly and what you must be careful not to do in this sensitive season. Hold on. This is where everything connects, and you will want to hear this part. My beloved one, what you are stepping into now is sacred territory. This is not just a continuation of restoration. It is the reason behind it. God never renews someone without purpose. He does not rewind time for entertainment. He restores youth when there is unfinished assignment, unreleased glory, and delayed fruit that must now come forth. This is why the shift feels sudden. Heaven waited until the right moment, and now the door is open. There is something many people never realize. Youth is connected to vision. When vision fades, the soul ages quickly. When hope is deferred, the heart grows weary, and weariness shows itself everywhere. God says your vision was attacked, not your future. The enemy tried to convince you that dreaming was childish, that expecting more was foolish, that your season had passed. But today God declares, your vision is alive again. And when vision returns, vitality follows. Archangel Michael is standing watch over your mind right now. He is guarding you from old thought patterns that tried to age you prematurely. Patterns like overthinking, self-blame, regret, and constant comparison. These things drain life. They steal color from the soul. But heaven is rewriting your inner dialogue. You will notice your thoughts becoming quieter, clearer, more hopeful. This mental peace is a major sign that youth is being restored at the core. Some of you are experiencing physical tiredness lifting without explanation. Others feel emotionally lighter, as if something heavy slipped off during prayer or sleep. This is not random. God is healing exhaustion stored in your nervous system. Stress lived in your body longer than it should have. But the Lord is recalibrating you now. He says, I am giving you rest that sleep alone could not give. This restoration is also connected to identity. You forgot who you were while being everything for everyone else. You became dependable, responsible, strong, but you stopped being free. God is restoring freedom to you. Freedom to enjoy small things. Freedom to laugh without guilt. Freedom to feel alive again. This freedom is dangerous to the enemy because a joyful soul is hard to control. Archangel Michael reminds you that your battles are not returning. What drained you will not have access again unless you open the door. God is sharpening your discernment. You will sense quickly when something is off. You will no longer force connections that cost too much. This wisdom protects your renewal. Now hear this clearly. Restoration does not mean life will never challenge you again. It means challenges will no longer consume you. You will recover faster. You will bounce back stronger. You will not stay down emotionally like before. That resilience is a mark of renewed youth. Heaven calls it strength wrapped in peace. There is also a divine attraction being released. People will be drawn to your energy, not because you try, but because you glow differently. This glow is not pride, it is alignment. When your soul aligns with God's rhythm, your entire being reflects harmony. Some will ask what changed. Others will feel inspired just being near you. This is ministry without words. God says, I am restoring your youth because I trust you with influence again. Influence does not always look like platforms or crowds. Sometimes it is one conversation, one presence, one life touched. Your renewed energy will be a testimony to those who feel tired of life. Through you, they will see that God still renews, still heals, still restores. This moment also comes with responsibility. Do not rush. Do not compare. Do not expose yourself to environments that celebrate burnout. Protect your peace fiercely. What God is doing is precious. Treat it as such. This is not the season to prove yourself. This is the season to receive. Archangel Michael is sealing this phase with divine authority. He declares that cycles of emotional aging are broken. You will not repeat old patterns. You will not return to survival mode. You are stepping into sustainable joy. And now, as this word settles into your spirit, respond in faith. Type I receive restoration in the comments if this message is speaking directly to you. Blessing code 948 has just been released over your life. And before this flow continues, hear this sacred invitation. If this message is feeding your soul, it is because someone chose to sow so God's word could reach you. I hear the Lord say, those who water others will themselves be watered. This channel is a river, carrying life to tired hearts across the world. When you give through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal, link in the description, you are placing oil in the lamp so the light does not go out. I speak blessing over every seed sown here. Your obedience will return to you pressed down, shaken together, and overflowing. Do not delay what God is prompting. Act now and release the harvest. Stay open, because what is coming next will reveal how to walk daily in this restored youth without losing it again. My precious one, now that restoration has been released, God wants to teach you how to live inside it. Because what heaven gives freely must be stewarded wisely. Many receive renewal, but only a few learn how to protect it. This is where maturity meets youth, and where your season becomes stable instead of temporary. God says, I am not visiting you. I am dwelling with you. There is a shift happening in how you will respond to life. Before, everything felt urgent. Every message demanded attention. Every problem felt like an emergency. That constant alertness aged your soul. But now God is slowing your inner world. You will notice that situations that once overwhelmed you no longer shake you the same way. This calm is not detachment, it is authority. Youth flows naturally where fear no longer controls reactions. Archangel Michael is guiding you into discernment that feels effortless. You will know what to engage with and what to ignore. Not everything deserves your energy. Not every opinion requires your response. Not every battle is yours to fight. This wisdom is part of your renewal. When unnecessary battles are avoided, strength is preserved. When strength is preserved, youth remains. God is also recalibrating your time. You used to give your best hours to stress and leftovers to rest. That order is being reversed. You will begin to honor your body, your sleep, and your emotional limits without shame. This is holy alignment. The body responds quickly when it feels safe. Your nervous system is learning that it no longer has to stay in survival mode. Some of you will notice old habits quietly falling away. Overworking, overthinking, people-pleasing, emotional overeating, constant scrolling. These were coping mechanisms for exhaustion. As renewal settles in, you will no longer need them. They will lose their grip without force. That is how divine change works. It does not strain, it replaces. Archangel Michael is also strengthening your boundaries. Boundaries are not walls, they are gates. They decide what enters and what exits. In the past, you allowed too much access because you feared losing people. God says, what is for you will respect your boundaries. This truth will free you. The more peace you protect, the younger your spirit stays. There is something else happening beneath the surface. God is restoring playfulness to your soul. Not immaturity, but lightness. You will enjoy things again without analyzing them. You will laugh without overthinking how it sounds. You will experience moments of joy that feel spontaneous. These moments are medicine. Scripture says a joyful heart does good like medicine, and heaven is applying that medicine daily. You may also feel a renewed curiosity about life. New ideas, new interests, new creativity may begin to stir. This is not distraction. It is awakening. Creativity is a sign of inner youth. God is reactivating parts of you that were dormant because you were too busy surviving. Now that survival mode is ending, expression can return. Be mindful in this season not to rush outcomes. Youth thrives in presence, not pressure. Do not turn restoration into another task to manage. Let it breathe. Let it unfold naturally. Some days will feel powerful, others gentle. Both are valid. God is teaching you rhythm, not intensity. Archangel Michael is also guarding your words. You will speak differently now. Less complaining, more clarity, fewer explanations, stronger declarations. Words shape atmosphere, and your atmosphere is changing. When your environment shifts, your body responds. Peace shortens recovery time. Hope accelerates healing. There will be moments when the past tries to reintroduce itself. Old fears, old memories, old insecurities may knock softly. Do not panic. This does not mean restoration failed. It means those things are losing power and making a final attempt to stay relevant. Simply do not invite them in. Acknowledge their presence and choose peace anyway. That choice seals your renewal. God says, I am teaching you how to enjoy me again, not just depend on me. For a long time, your relationship with God was survival-based. You prayed because you needed help. Now you will pray because you enjoy His presence. That shift alone restores years to the soul. Love without desperation is refreshing. This season will also bring healthier connections, people who move at your pace, conversations that energize instead of drain, moments that feel mutual. God is not isolating you. He is refining your circle. Youth flourishes in safe company. As this message continues to unfold, something important must be addressed next: how to handle the sudden favor and attention that often follows renewal. Because when God restores, people notice. And not everyone who notices understands. What comes next will help you stay grounded while stepping forward. Stay with this flow. You are not just being renewed. You are being established. My dear one, as restoration becomes visible, God wants to prepare you for something many are not ready for: the reaction of others. When youth is restored, when peace settles on you, when your energy shifts, people notice even if they cannot explain it. This is where wisdom is required, because not every response you receive will come from understanding. Some will come from admiration, some from curiosity, and some from discomfort. God says, do not let their reaction confuse your direction. There will be people who knew you in your tired season. They remembered the version of you that was always available, always explaining, always carrying weight. When they see you lighter, calmer, more confident, it may unsettle them. Not because you are doing something wrong, but because change exposes what stayed the same in others. This is why God is strengthening your identity now. You no longer need permission to be whole. Archangel Michael stands beside you in moments when silence will speak louder than explanation. You will feel less compelled to justify yourself. You will not argue your growth. You will not convince people of your healing. Peace does not announce itself. It reveals itself. Those meant to understand will adjust. Those who cannot will slowly fall away without drama. This is divine order. God is also teaching you not to shrink to make others comfortable. In the past, you dimmed your joy when it felt too visible. You softened your confidence so it would not be misunderstood. But the Lord says, I did not restore you so you could hide. Humility does not mean invisibility. You can be gentle and strong at the same time. You can be kind and still say no. This balance preserves your youth. There is a subtle temptation that comes with renewal to overextend again. When you feel better, you may feel capable of doing more, helping more, caring more. But God is cautioning you here. Just because you can does not mean you should. Restoration is not an invitation to return to old patterns. It is an opportunity to live differently. Guard your margins. Protect your quiet. Honor your limits. Archangel Michael is reinforcing this truth. Boundaries are spiritual protection. Every time you say no to what drains you, you say yes to what sustains you. Every time you choose rest, you partner with heaven. You are not being selfish. You are being obedient. God is pleased when you care for what He has renewed. Some of you will notice that your discernment around people sharpens quickly. You will sense intentions before words are spoken. You will feel when a connection is life-giving or draining. Trust this. This is not judgment. It is wisdom. Youth remains where discernment leads. Ignoring your inner signal is what aged you before. Listening to it will keep you renewed. God is also shifting how you view success. Before, success was surviving the day, meeting expectations, not falling apart. And now, success looks like peace at night, joy in the morning, and alignment throughout the day. This new definition changes everything. When success is measured by peace, comparison loses its power. When comparison dies, the soul breathes easier. There is another layer of restoration happening quietly: your relationship with time. You no longer feel chased by it. You no longer panic about being behind. God says, I am redeeming your timeline. What felt delayed was being protected. What felt lost is being returned in a different form. You are not late. You are prepared. That realization alone restores confidence and youth. Archangel Michael is also guarding you against nostalgia that pulls you backward. It is okay to remember, but not to live there. The past taught you, but it is not your home. God is doing a new thing, and it requires forward focus. The future ahead of you is lighter than the past behind you. Walk already without fear. You may also feel a new boldness in your prayers. You will ask clearly. You will speak honestly. You will stop apologizing for your desires. God welcomes this. Childlike faith is bold, and bold faith is youthful. The Lord delights when you come without pretension, without fear, without rehearsed words. His intimacy refreshes the soul deeply. Be aware that restlessness may try to disguise itself as opportunity. Not every open door is divine. Some doors lead back to exhaustion. Pause before committing. Pray before agreeing. Give yourself permission to wait. God is not in a hurry, and neither should you be. Peace is your confirmation. As you continue walking in this renewal, something beautiful begins to happen. You become a safe place for others without losing yourself. Your presence calms instead of drains. Your words heal instead of carry burden. This is sustainable influence. This is maturity wrapped in youth. What comes next will be crucial, because God is about to address how to handle moments when old fears resurface unexpectedly. This does not mean failure. It means deeper healing. Stay open. Stay grounded. The best is still unfolding, and you are learning how to remain whole while moving forward. My beloved one, now we enter a deeper layer of this journey, because restoration does not erase memory overnight. Sometimes, just when you begin to feel strong again, an old fear rises unexpectedly. A familiar insecurity whispers. A memory resurfaces without warning. This does not mean you are going backward. God says this is not relapse, this is release. What comes up now is coming up to leave for good. There were moments in your past that shaped how you protected yourself. Disappointments taught you caution. Lust taught you restraint. Rejection taught you silence. These patterns once kept you safe, but they also kept you guarded. Guarded hearts survive, but they do not stay youthful for long. God is gently loosening those defenses now, not to expose you to harm, but to free you from constant vigilance. Peace cannot live where fear stands watch all night. Archangel Michael is helping you confront these old echoes without being overwhelmed by them. You will notice something different this time. When fear rises, it does not take over like before. When doubt appears, it does not linger as long. That is progress. That is healing. The power fear once had over you is breaking, and with it, the emotional weight that aged you prematurely. God is teaching you a new response. Instead of fighting fear aggressively, you will acknowledge it calmly and choose trust anyway. This choice is powerful. Every time you choose trust, your nervous system learns safety. And when the body feels safe, it regenerates. This is why inner healing often shows up physically. Your body has been waiting for permission to rest. There may also be moments when you fear losing this restoration. You may think, what if this doesn't last? Hear God clearly. What I establish, I sustain. This renewal is not fragile. It is rooted. You are not walking on thin ice. You are standing on solid ground. The enemy wants you anxious about maintenance so you never fully enjoy the gift. Refuse that lie. Enjoyment is part of obedience. Archangel Michael is reminding you that vigilance has been replaced with awareness. Awareness is calm. Vigilance is tense. You are no longer scanning for danger everywhere. You are learning to live present. Presence restores youth because it brings you fully into the moment God is blessing, instead of replaying what already passed. God is also healing the way you view yourself during weakness. Before, one low moment made you question everything. One tired day made you feel like you were failing again. And now, you will respond with compassion toward yourself. You will rest without shame. You will pause without guilt. This kindness toward yourself is sacred. It mirrors how God treats you. As this shift deepens, you may notice your prayers becoming simpler. Less panic. More trust. Less explaining. More listening. This simplicity is a sign of maturity and youth working together. You are no longer trying to convince God. You are communing with Him. Relationship restores faster than ritual. Now, take a moment here. If this message is speaking to you, help it reach others who are silently tired. Like this video to signal your agreement with what God is doing. Share it with someone who feels worn down but doesn't know how to ask for help. Leave a comment declaring that peace is replacing fear in your life. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to this channel and join this growing spiritual family, because what is unfolding here is not accidental. It is a stream meant to refresh many. God is also strengthening your voice. You will speak up sooner instead of bottling things up. You will express needs without fear of being a burden. Dishonesty prevents emotional buildup, which once aged you internally. Communication, when done in truth and calm, is healing. Archangel Michael stands guard when old triggers appear. He's ensuring they do not spiral into old cycles. What once knocked you down will now pass through without damage. You are resilient in a new way. Not hardened but grounded. There is a quiet confidence forming in you. Not loud. Not defensive. Just steady. This confidence is deeply youthful because it does not rely on approval. It comes from alignment. When you are aligned, you are not drained by comparison or competition. You simply are. God wants you to hear this clearly. You are allowed to enjoy stability. You are allowed to feel okay without waiting for something to go wrong. Peace is not a pause before chaos. It is the new normal. Let that truth settle. Before this message flows further, stay present. What comes next will reveal how God uses your restored youth not just for you, but as a blessing that flows outward in ways you may not expect. Hold on. This next movement connects everything, and you will be glad you stayed with it. My precious one, as restoration settles deeply within you, God now reveals how this renewal is meant to flow outward. What He has done in you is not meant to stay contained. It will touch others naturally, without strain, without effort, simply through who you are becoming. This is why your youth is being restored, not only to refresh you, but to make you a living testimony of what God can do when someone allows Him to heal them fully. There is a quiet authority forming in you. It does not announce itself, but it is felt. People will begin to open up to you unexpectedly. They will share things they have not said out loud before. This is not because you have all the answers, but because your presence feels safe. Safety restores people, and safety flows from someone who is at peace within themselves. God says, I am making you a resting place for weary hearts. Archangel Michael is surrounding you with divine protection as this influence grows. Influence without protection drains. But influence guarded by heaven multiplies without costing you. You will notice that even when you give emotionally, you do not feel emptied like before. That is because you are no longer giving from depletion. You are giving from overflow. Overflow does not exhaust. It replenishes. God is also teaching you the difference between responsibility and assignment. In the past, you felt responsible for fixing, saving, and carrying others. That responsibility aged you. Now, you will sense when something is an assignment from God and when it is simply a burden that does not belong to you. This discernment is vital. Youth remains where responsibility is aligned with calling. You will also experience a new gentleness toward others. Not tolerance that allows disrespect, but compassion that understands pain without absorbing it. This balance keeps your heart soft and your spirit strong. Softness without boundaries drains. Boundaries without softness harden. God is teaching you both. There is something else unfolding quietly. Your relationship with joy is being healed. For a long time, joy felt unsafe. Every happy moment carried the fear of loss. You braced yourself even while smiling. But God is removing that brace. You will laugh freely again. You will enjoy moments without anticipating disappointment. This freedom is deeply rejuvenating. Joy without fear restores years to the soul. Archangel Michael is also helping you release the need to control outcomes. Control is exhausting. Trust is energizing. When you stop micromanaging life, your body relaxes. Your mind rests. Your spirit breathes. God says, I am teaching you to trust me with what you cannot predict. That trust is becoming your strength. You may begin to notice changes in how you move through your day. Less rushing, fewer sharp reactions, more intentional pauses. These pauses are holy. They allow you to stay connected to the present moment. Presence is where God meets you. And every time you meet God, renewal flows again. There is a deep healing happening in how you view yourself in relation to others. You are no longer measuring your worth by usefulness. You are no longer tying love to performance. This shift is monumental. When love is no longer earned, the soul rests. When the soul rests, you thrives. God is also restoring your ability to receive. You were good at giving, but uncomfortable receiving. Compliments embarrassed you. Help made you uneasy. Care felt unfamiliar. But now, you will allow others to pour into you without guilt. Receiving is not weakness. It is humility. And humility keeps the heart young. Archangel Michael reminds you that strength does not always look like endurance. Sometimes it looks like stopping. Sometimes it looks like asking. Sometimes it looks like choosing yourself without apology. Heaven supports these choices. You are not falling behind by resting. You are staying aligned. As this outward flow continues, some people may misunderstand your peace. They may think you have become distant. In truth, you have become centered. You are no longer scattered across everyone else's expectations. You are gathered within yourself. God says, I am calling you inward so you can move outward with clarity. There will also be moments of deep gratitude that rise unexpectedly. You will feel thankful not just for what you have, but for what you survived. Gratitude seals healing. It honors the journey without reopening the wounds. This gratitude will anchor your renewal. Be aware of this. Not every opportunity that comes with influence is meant to be accepted. God will guide you gently. Follow peace, not pressure. The right doors will feel steady, not rushed. When something costs your peace, it costs too much. As this message continues, the next unfolding will address a powerful truth. How God is restoring not only your present, but also redeeming lost years in ways you did not expect. What you thought was wasted will be revisited with purpose. Stay open. The story is not only continuing, it is being rewritten with grace. My beloved one, now we arrive at a moment that touches something very tender in your heart. The years you thought were lost. God speaks clearly here, because many of your silent tears were connected to time. Time you felt slipped away. Time you spent waiting, enduring, surviving. Time you thought could never be returned. But God says, nothing surrendered to me is ever wasted. This restoration of youth is not only about how you feel now, it is also about how heaven is redeeming what you thought was gone forever. There were seasons where you lived in delay, not because you were disobedient, but because you were being shaped. You wondered why others moved ahead while you stood still. You questioned your pace. You questioned yourself. And slowly, regret tried to settle in. Regret is heavy. It ages the soul. But God is lifting that weight now. He says, I delayed you to develop you, not to deny you. Archangel Michael stands as a witness to this truth. He knows every battle you fought while waiting. He saw you choose integrity when shortcuts were available. He saw you remain kind when bitterness would have been easier. Those choices mattered. Heaven recorded them. And now, what took years to prepare will begin to unfold with surprising speed. This is why youth is being restored, so you can run again without collapse. God is redeeming time in a way that feels almost unfair to the past. Opportunities will line quickly. Connections will make sense suddenly. Doors will open without forcing. You will look back and realize that nothing was truly behind. You were simply approaching it from a different angle. This realization alone heals deep disappointment. There is also forgiveness happening here. Not just forgiving others, but forgiving yourself. You blamed yourself for not knowing what you know now. You judge your past decisions through today's clarity. But God says, you were faithful with the knowledge you had then. Self-forgiveness restores innocence, and innocence is deeply connected to youth. When shame leaves, light returns. Archangel Michael is also breaking the lie that you are behind schedule. Heaven does not operate on human timelines. God's timing is intentional, precise, and kind. What matters is not when it happened, but how prepared you are now. And you are prepared. More than you realize. That preparation is what makes the next season sustainable, not rushed. You may notice old memories resurfacing, not with pain, but with understanding. This is redemption at work. God is revisiting those chapters to heal how they ended in your heart. He is not reopening wounds, He is closing them properly. Closure restores peace. Peace restores strength. Strength restores youth. There is also a joy coming from realizing that you did not miss your calling. It waited for you. Calling is patient. Purpose does not expire. It adapts. God says, what I placed in you is still alive. The truth will awaken excitement you thought was gone. You will begin to dream again, but without pressure. Dreams rooted in peace grow faster. Archangel Michael is guarding you as favor increases. Favor can be overwhelming if it arrives before healing. But you are ready now. You will not be intoxicated by attention or drained by opportunity. You will move with humility and clarity. This balance keeps you grounded as momentum builds. Now pause here and respond in faith. Type I receive restored years in the comments if this message is resonating with your spirit. Blessing code 1163 has just been released, sealing divine acceleration and redeemed time over your life. And listen carefully, because this moment also carries an invitation that flows directly from what God is doing here. This message is reaching you because someone chose to partner with God's work. I hear the Lord say, when you sow into this river, you become part of every life it touches. This channel exists to restore weary souls, to bring light where time felt wasted. When you give through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal, the link is in the description. You are sowing into redeemed years for others. This is not a donation. It is obedience. I release blessing over every giver now. May God multiply your seed, restore your time, and open doors you did not knock on. Act now. Obey the prompting. Let your seed speak. As this unfolds, something even deeper is coming next. How to remain steady when acceleration begins, so that restored youth does not turn into burnout again. Stay with this. The wisdom ahead will protect everything God has just redeemed. My precious one, as acceleration begins to take shape around you, God now speaks with deep care, because momentum without wisdom can quietly recreate exhaustion. This is where many stumble, not because they lack faith, but because they forget rhythm. God says, I am restoring your youth, not testing your endurance. This next phase is about learning how to move forward without burning out again. Acceleration from God feels different from pressure from the world. Peter shouts. Acceleration flows. Pressure demands speed. Acceleration creates alignment. You will notice that when something is truly from God, it does not rob you of peace even when it stretches you. Peace is the indicator. If peace leaves you, pause. That pause is not disobedience, it is discernment. Archangel Michael is standing close in this season because momentum attracts attention, and attention attracts spiritual resistance. Not to stop you, but to distract you. Distraction often looks productive. Too many options. Too many invitations. Too many good ideas at once. God says, not everything that can be done should be done now. Timing protects strength. You are learning to move with intention instead of impulse. Before, impulse came from fear. Fear of missing out. Fear of falling behind. Fear of being forgotten. Now, intention comes from trust. Trust that what is meant for you will wait. Trust that you do not need to chase what God has already assigned. This trust preserves your energy and keeps your spirit youthful. There is also a new relationship forming between you and rest. Rest is no longer recovery from collapse. It is maintenance for growth. You will rest before you are tired. You will stop before you are drained. This wisdom is rare, and it is holy. God delights in this shift because it shows you believe He can work even when you pause. Archangel Michael is also helping you recognize subtle warning signs early. Tension in your body. Irritation without reason. Loss of joy in things you once enjoyed. These are not failures. They are signaled. Responding early prevents deeper exhaustion. Ignoring them recreates old cycles. You are now equipped to respond wisely. God is also reshaping how you view productivity. Productivity used to mean output. Now it means fruitfulness. Fruitfulness includes rest, joy, connection, and peace. You will no longer measure your worth by how much you accomplish in a day. You will measure it by how aligned you remain. Alignment keeps you light. Lightness keeps you young. There may be moments when you feel tempted to prove your renewal, to show others how much better you are doing. Resist that urge. Your life will speak louder than your explanation. Let consistency testify. Let peace be your evidence. God does not need you to advertise what He is doing. He needs you to protect it. Archangel Michael is guarding you from comparison in this accelerated season. When movement begins, comparison tries to sneak back in. You may see others moving faster or differently. Remember this: speed does not equal success. Sustainability does. God is not racing you against anyone. He is walking you into a future that fits you. You are also learning that saying no is not a setback. Sometimes no is the very thing that keeps your yes powerful. Every yes you give now carries weight. Do not dilute it by overcommitting. God honors focused obedience more than scattered enthusiasm. There is a quiet joy that will begin to settle in as you realize you are no longer fighting time. You are partnering with it. Days will feel fuller but not heavier. Nights will feel calmer. Mornings will come with less resistance. These are signs that your pace is aligned with heaven. God is also teaching you to celebrate progress without rushing completion. You used to skip celebration because you were already worried about what was next. Now, you will pause and thank God for how far you have come. Gratitude anchors growth. It prevents striving. It reminds your soul that you are safe. Archangel Michael stands ready when moments of overextension try to return. You will feel a gentle check inside before you go too far. Listen to it. That inner check is not fear, it is protection. The more you honor it, the stronger it becomes. This season is not about intensity, it is about consistency. Intensity burns fast. Consistency builds legacy. God is more interested in how long you can walk in joy than how quickly you can move through assignments. Youth is sustained through rhythm, not rush. As you settle into this steady pace, something powerful begins to happen. Your life becomes predictable in the best way, predictably peaceful, predictably grounded, predictably joyful. That stability is deeply attractive and deeply anointed. What comes next will take this even further, because God is about to speak about how restored youth affects your future relationships, decisions, and long-term vision. This is where everything begins to converge. Stay open. You are not just moving forward, you are moving wisely. My beloved one, as your life settles into this new rhythm, God now turns your attention toward the future He is shaping through your restored youth. This is not only about how you feel today, but about the decisions you will make tomorrow. Youth restored by God sharpens vision. It clears confusion. It gives you the courage to choose differently than you did before. And those choices will quietly determine the direction of your life from here. You will notice that your decision-making is changing. Before, choices were often made under pressure, fear, or urgency. You chose quickly just to end discomfort. But now, there is space between the question and the answer. In this space, peace speaks. God says, I am teaching you to decide from clarity, not from exhaustion. This alone will save you years of unnecessary struggle. Archangel Michael is standing with you in moments of decision, helping you discern what aligns with your renewed life and what belongs to an old version of you. Some options that once excited you will now feel heavy. Some paths that once scared you will now feel calm. This is not contradiction. It is growth. You are not becoming indecisive. You are becoming precise. Your restored youth is also influencing how you see relationships moving forward. You are no longer attracted to intensity without stability. Chaos no longer feels like passion. You will desire consistency, honesty, and emotional safety. God says, I am refining your desires so they no longer cost you your peace. This refinement is protection. It keeps you from repeating cycles that drain you before. There is a confidence growing in you that does not need constant reassurance. You are no longer looking for signs everywhere. You are no longer second-guessing every step. This confidence is not arrogance, it is assurance. Assurance comes when your spirit trusts that God is guiding you even when everything is not clear yet. Archangel Michael is also guarding you against impatience in this stage. When youth returns, excitement returns with it. You may feel eager to move faster, to see results sooner. But God says, let excitement walk with wisdom. Rushing now could recreate stress later. You are learning that slow obedience produces lasting peace. You may also find yourself reevaluating long-term commitments. Career paths, living situations, routines, even dreams may come under gentle review. This is not confusion. It is alignment. God is making sure your future structure can support the joy He has restored. There is no point in renewed strength if the foundation drains it again. There will be moments when old voices try to influence your decisions. Voices of fear. Voices of people who knew the tired version of you. Voices that say, be careful, when God is saying, be faithful. This is where discernment matters. Not every warning is wisdom. Some warnings are fear dressed as concern. God's guidance always brings peace, even when it stretches you. Now pause with me for a moment. If this message is blessing you and keeping your spirit engaged, help it reach those who are standing at similar crossroads. Like this video to show your agreement with what God is doing. Share it with someone who is rebuilding their life after a season of exhaustion. Leave a comment declaring that you are choosing peace-led decisions. And if you have not yet, subscribe to this channel and be part of this growing community, because these messages are meant to walk with you, not just visit you. God is also teaching you to plan without anxiety. Planning used to trigger fear because you were unsure of your strength. Now, planning feels hopeful because you trust your capacity. Youth restores confidence in the future. You no longer dread what is coming. You prepare for it with expectation. Archangel Michael reminds you that discernment is not about perfection. You will not always choose flawlessly, and that is okay. What matters is that you no longer abandon yourself in the process. You will adjust without shame. You will correct without self-attack. This kindness toward yourself keeps you whole. There is a deeper vision forming now. Not just goals, but a way of living. A life where peace is non-negotiable. Where joy is protected. Where rest is respected. This vision will guide your choices more than any external advice. God is writing this vision on your heart. You are also becoming more selective with your time. Time is no longer something you waste to avoid feeling. It is something you honor because it carries life. This awareness alone will keep you youthful in spirit for years to come. As this unfolds, stay with me. What comes next is deeply personal and powerful. God is about to speak about legacy, what your restored youth is meant to build beyond you, and how this season connects to something far greater than the present moment. Hold on. This next movement will bring everything together, and you will not want to miss it. My precious one, now God gently lifts your eyes beyond the present and speaks about legacy. Not legacy as the world defines it, but legacy as heaven sees it. This restored youth is not only for your comfort, your peace, or your healing. It is also for what will remain long after certain seasons pass. God says, I am renewing you because there is something through you that must endure. For a long time, survival consumed your focus. When you are surviving, you cannot think far ahead. You make choices to get through the day, not to shape the future. But survival mode has ended. Now, vision returns. And vision naturally asks different questions. Not how do I cope, but what am I building? This shift alone marks the transition into a new chapter. Archangel Michael is standing with you, as God speaks about impact. Impact does not always look loud or public. Sometimes it is quiet consistency. Sometimes it is the way you show up, the way you listen, the way you respond under pressure. People will remember how they felt around you long after they forget what you said. Your restored peace will leave an imprint. God is also healing the way you think about influence. You once believed influence required constant output, constant availability, constant giving. That belief aged you. But God says, true influence flows from wholeness. When you are whole, people are nourished without you being depleted. That is sustainable legacy. There is something powerful about the timing of this renewal. God did not restore you earlier because you were not yet ready to carry what comes next without losing yourself. Now you are. Your healed discernment, your boundaries, your rhythm, all of it prepares you to build without burning out. Legacy built in exhaustion collapses. Legacy built in peace stands. Archangel Michael is also guarding your heart against the pressure to make everything meaningful immediately. Legacy unfolds over time. You do not need to see the full picture now. Faithfulness in small, line steps compounds quietly. God says, do not despise consistency. What feels ordinary today may be the very thing that shapes tomorrow. You may notice a new desire to live intentionally. How you speak, how you treat people, how you care for your body, how you manage your time. These are not random urges. They are legacy instincts awakening. Youth restored by God naturally wants to invest, not waste. You will feel less drawn to distractions that once filled emotional gaps. God is also reframing how you view mistakes. Before, mistakes felt costly because you believed time was running out. Now, mistakes feel instructive. You learn, adjust, and move forward without spiraling. This resilience is critical for long-term impact. People who build lasting things are not those who never fail, but those who recover without quitting. Archangel Michael reminds you that legacy is not built in comparison. Looking sideways drains focus. God is inviting you to look forward with humility and confidence. There is room for your contribution. You are not late to the story. You arrived at the right moment, with the right wisdom, for the right work. There may be moments when the weight of responsibility feels heavy again, not because you are weak, but because what you carry matters. When that happens, return to the rhythm God taught you. Est. Bread. Pause. You are no longer carrying alone. Heaven is invested in what flows through you. God is also preparing you to be an example, not an exception. Your journey will help others believe healing is possible. Not because you are perfect, but because you are honest. Honest about the process. Honest about the pace. Honest about the grace required. This authenticity gives people permission to heal without pretending. You will also notice that your prayers shift again. They become less about asking and more about aligning. Less about rescue and more about partnership. God welcomes this. Partnership requires trust, and trust is a sign of maturity and youth working together. Archangel Michael is ensuring that pride does not creep in as influence grows. Humility will come naturally to you now, not forced, because you remember where you came from. Gratitude keeps you grounded. Grounded people grow deep roots. Deep roots support lasting fruit. There is also a generational aspect to what God is doing. Some of what is being healed in you was carried quietly through family lines, patterns of overwork, emotional suppression, self-sacrifice without rest. By choosing differently now, you are interrupting those patterns. That interruption is powerful. It changes futures you may never fully see. As this message draws close to its final movement, stay present. What comes next is not an ending, it is a sealing. God is about to speak a final word over this entire journey of restoration, youth, and purpose. This closing moment will tie everything together and release a blessing that confirms what heaven has already begun. Stay with it. You are standing at a sacred threshold. My beloved child, this is not an ending. This is a sealing. What God has spoken over you throughout this journey is now being anchored in your spirit. Restoration has moved from promise to process, and now from process to permanence. God says, "What I have renewed, I will sustain." You are not stepping back into life as it was. You are stepping forward as someone redefined by grace, wisdom, and renewed strength. This final moment is sacred because God is not only restoring your youth, He is restoring your confidence in walking with Him. There was a time when you doubted yourself deeply. You questioned your discernment. You replayed decisions. You feared making the wrong move. But now, God is quieting that inner noise. He says, "You hear me more clearly than you think." Trust is being rebuilt, not just in God, but in the version of you that listens, waits, and obeys. Archangel Michael stands as a witness to this sealing. He has guarded you through exhaustion, confusion, delay, and renewal. Now he stands not with a sword raised for battle, but with authority established for protection. What once attacked your peace will no longer find access. Cycles of burnout are closed. Cycles of self-doubt are broken. You are not returning to who you were. You are becoming who you were always meant to be. God is also healing how you see yourself in the mirror of time. You are no longer measuring life by regret or comparison. You are measuring it by alignment, by peace, by obedience. This shift has restored dignity to your walk. You no longer rush to prove anything. You no longer carry shame for needing rest. You live from wholeness, not from survival. There will be days ahead that challenge you, but they will not consume you. There will be moments of uncertainty, but they will not destabilize you. Because now, you know how to return to center. You know how to pause. You know how to listen. That knowledge is priceless. That wisdom is youthful. That steadiness is rare. God says, "I am pleased with how you allowed me to heal you." You did not harden. You did not quit. You stayed open even when it hurt. And because of that openness, your heart stayed soft. Soft hearts stay young. Soft hearts stay teachable. Soft hearts stay close to God. Archangel Michael declares that the next season of your life will feel lighter, not because there will be no responsibility, but because you will no longer carry what was never yours. You will walk with clarity. You will rest without guilt. You will enjoy without fear. This is the fruit of restoration. Now hear this carefully. Do not underestimate the power of consistency. Continue choosing peace. Continue honoring rest. Continue listening inwardly. You do not need dramatic changes to stay renewed. You need faithful rhythms. God is not asking for perfection. He is asking for presence. As this sealing completes, speak your agreement out loud. Type "I walk in renewal" in the comments if you receive this word fully. Blessing code 2049 is now released, sealing restored youth, protected peace, and sustained strength over your life. This word reached you because someone chose to partner with heaven. I hear the Lord say, "Those who carry the fire must also protect the flame." This channel exists to restore the weary, waken the forgotten, and speak life where time felt wasted. When you give through Super Thanks, become a member, or sow through PayPal. The link is in the description. You are not supporting a channel. You are fueling a mission. Your seed becomes a voice to someone who almost gave up. I release a blessing over every giver now. May God multiply your obedience, restore what you poured out, and accelerate peace in your life. Do not delay. Obey the prompting. Sow now, and let your seed speak for generations.